Public Library is happy to present the following class recording footage in partnership with the Digital Workshop Center as a part of our mission to empower patrons and improve digital literacy.
So let me introduce myself, and then I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself as well, okay?
All right.
Okay, so my name is Elizabeth, and I'm an instructor at the Digital Workforce Center, and I've been instructing since about February, but my background is that I had managed a computer retail store in Loveland, Colorado, and then when that store closed, I worked for Hewlett Packard as a trainer for the customer support agents. And then when I left that job, I kind of just filtered around a little bit. Now I'm teaching for Digital Workshop Center. So I have a lot of experience in computers and computer applications. So it's always fun for me to come and do this class for folks learning how to use computers. So welcome. And would you like to introduce yourself and then tell me what do you know about computers?
Okay. My name is Laverne McGregor. I kind of retired. I do volunteer work, but at the moment, it's not going on because of this COVID business. I am going to be 81, which is really over the hill, but I did take computer classes about 10 years ago, and I've worked at jobs in between of those 10 years. So I've worked with computers, but I'd like to take a basically refresher class because I have forgotten a lot that I had learned 10 years ago. So basically that's my goal, is to take a refresher class and, review things and have them, just get back on track in my mind again and remember to do certain things and so on.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So that helps me understand the background. I'm going to sneeze here in just a minute. I have horrible allergies, so I apologize for that. If that happens, I just dropped something. One moment. Okay, the sneeze went away. So, okay. So this class is designed for folks who, down to the very basics from the very beginning and up. Okay, so there might be some things that we review that you are familiar with, but that's okay because it's a good refresher for you. Okay, so
okay.
Yeah, so the way that we're going to do the class is I'm pretty much going to be, speaking to you and showing you how to do things on the computer. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my computer. And there's some slides that we're going to review first. At any time, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. And I'll also pause and ask you if you have questions as well, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So we're here for an hour and a half, so till 12:30. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Laverne, I'm going to share my screen. So what this means is you're going to see what I have on my computer.
Okay.
Okay, and the first things we're going to look at, Laverne, is what you're going to learn in this session of this course, okay?
Okay.
That's what this slide is indicating here. So we're going to review the computer components.
Okay.
We're going to look at some keyboard shortcuts. We're going to look at using the taskbar, which will make more sense to you when I show it to you. Using the control panel. Using help and support. Working with folders and saving files. This is a lot of information that we're going to go through. So it's going to feel fast to you. If it's too fast, I need you to tell me because I don't want you to not learn as well, okay?
I understand, yes.
Okay, all right. So let me get out of this. And I have another slide I want to. Okay, so this is the slideshow that I'm going to use, Laverne, to talk about the computer component, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of flip through these. We've already done the tell us about you. So I'm thinking that part of this class, you may have received a reference packet. Did you receive any kind of documentation for the course?
I may have, but I didn't check it out. I may have. I probably did. I don't know for sure.
Okay, okay, all right. If you want to check that between today and tomorrow, that's fine. That's not a problem. Okay.
So do I click on reference packet then? Is that what I do or what?
If it would if one had been sent to you, it probably would have come in an email.
Oh, yes, I'll bet that's what happened. So I should go to my email and check it out?
If you want to, yes. So the reference packet will have the information that I'm showing you today. Okay.
Okay. So basically, I don't want to lose you on my screen. So if I want to go to my email, I'd have to go, of course, on my phone, but I had to look up for that date that it may have been sent. So basically, if I go on my phone to look up my email, will I lose you?
So yeah, you do not need to do that right now, Laverne. You could do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will check after our class, so I'll bet I've got it. I just was, this, to be honest, is my very first class online in my life, to be honest. So I'm, trying to, conquer it.
Sure. No problem. No problem. We'll just check when class is over.
Okay, I will do it after the class.
Okay, perfect. And then you should be receiving a certificate of completion when we're done. And then we do offer a month of technical support. What that means, Laverne, is if you are working on your computer, you have questions about anything that you've learned in class, you can send them to me for 1 month, and I'll answer them for you. That's done through our website. So this information should be in that reference packet if you received it or not, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we've already talked about this. So let's look at the computer components then.
Okay.
You're probably familiar with a computer.
Yes, I am to a point. I'm yes.
Okay, good.
But I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is like, again, down to the basics. So computer components. So this slide talks about the monitor, obviously, is part of the computer, the keyboard, which is a device that you input to do commands in the computer, the actual computer itself, and then a mouse, which most people do have.
Yeah.
Some people use a laptop, and what that means is that this little computer here is built-in, and so the keyboard and the monitor of the computer are all one piece. Okay.
Amazing.
Do you own a computer, Laverne?
I do. I have a personal computer I don't have no laptop. I have a regular, computer on my desk.
Oh, okay, good. So you have something similar to what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, so those are some basic components. And then, Laverne, your computer has something which is called memory, which is like your brain's short-term memory. So it's temporary. It's a temporary workspace on your computer, and sometimes you may hear it be called RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. Okay, and then your computer also has a hard disk drive. All computers do. So this is more like your brain's long-term memory. I'm gonna sneeze, I think, again. One moment.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Do you have allergies?
No, I'm fine. I
Do
just have horrible allergies. I just cannot seem to get rid of them this year.
I understand, and I do too. So, yeah, I'm saying that, yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
all right. So then your hard disk drive, Laverne, you can think of it as your brain's long-term memory. So another
Okay.
analogy that folks use for the hard drive is if you're sitting down at a normal desk, right, and you have
Yes.
a file cabinet where you store your documents, that's your
Uh huh.
permanent storage, a place where you put things and you organize things. That would be similar to what a hard disk drive is on a computer. If you look back then
Okay.
up at the RAM, random access memory, if you're using the desk analogy, that would be like the top of your desk. So you're working along and you're pulling files from your file cabinet and working with them on the top of the desk. That's
Uh huh.
similar to what RAM is. You're pulling that out and you're working with it on the top of the desk. And when you're finished, you save what you're doing and you put it back in the file cabinet. And that's similar to what happens on
Okay.
a computer. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And then lastly is the processor. So all computers have a processor. It's like our central nervous system. And it's how computers get things done. And it performs all of the commands that you give it. So for example, every time you click on your mouse, the CPU or the processor performs a function to what you've asked, what you've had that mouse click on. So I click on a file, that command goes to the processor and it fulfills the command and opens the file, as an example. Okay.
Okay.
This slide then talks about the monitor, which is an output device, obviously. And so it gives you the visual representation of your computer and allows you to interact with the computer. On your
Uh
monitor,
huh.
you see something called a desktop, which is the background of the computer screen. So on this picture, it's like black right here, or this blue.
Right.
Or on my computer,
Hmm.
this area back here. That is the
Okay.
desktop, okay? And it looks different on everybody's computers. It depends on how you have yours set up. So what you see on my computer today will most likely be different than what you see on yours. But there are some things that are always the same, and I'll point this out for you. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you have things residing on your desktop, they can be opened, they can be thrown away or deleted, they can be moved according to how you want your desktop to look. So the beauty of the computer is that we can personalize it or how we want things to look. Okay. So
Okay.
the analogy here then is that it is similar to those items that maybe you have on your physical work desk, like your pictures of your family or your notepads or whatever it is that you have on your desk. Okay. And then finally on the slide, using the keyboard and the mouse, these are what's called input devices. And this is what you use to tell the computer what to do.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes when you perform a request on the computer that it may talk back to you, okay,
Uh huh.
it may say,
Hmm.
are you sure you want to do this? Or
Yeah.
do you really want to turn this on? This is what's called a dialog box, and it will pop up on your screen, and it'll ask you
Uh
questions,
huh.
okay? So similar to what you see
Okay.
here on this slide. So when you see a box like that show up on your screen, just read the message very carefully, and then click on the button to tell the computer what to do, okay?
Okay.
Programs then are instructions that tell a computer what to do. So everything that you do on the computer is performed by a computer program, and every program has instructions that helps the computer and you know, perform the function and have a dialogue. Okay, so
Okay.
programs perform specific tasks like writing a letter or playing a game, looking at the internet, and using email. So programs for
Okay.
writing a letter would be like Microsoft Word. And then, of course, I don't know what email you use, but um, your email program and then looking at the internet, those are all programs on the computer. And then there is an operating system. So the operating system is very important, Laverne, in the computer because you've got all these pieces of hardware. Now you have to have software to work with the computer. As programs can be referred to as software as well as the operating system. So it works in the background. It's like a director, and it sets the rules for how your computer is working and not working. And
Okay.
um, for PC-based computers, the operating system is called Windows. Okay, and then
Okay.
if you were using a Mac computer, it would be called Mac OS. So do you know if you have a PC-based computer?
Would that be a personal computer? I mean, I've got
Yeah.
the monitor and
Yeah.
everything here. Yeah. So that would be a PC
Yeah.
based computer then?
Right.
Okay.
Oops. I'm on the
Okay.
wrong thing.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. So when we're looking at my computer today, Laverne, the Windows operating system, there's different versions of the operating system. So every time something gets better or they make it different, they release new versions. And the most current version of the operating system for PC-based computers is Windows 10. Okay, so I don't know
Okay.
what your computer uses. However, in this class, I'm going to show you how to look and find out. Okay, so while
All
we're
right.
yeah, so while we're looking at my computer, it's possible that it's going to look a little bit different than
Sure.
that. Okay. Okay. And then this screen just talks about the mouse and how it controls this pointer. So I'm moving it around. You see the little white arrows. So that's called your
Yeah.
cursor. Obviously, you place your hand on the mouse to move it around. The mouse can move around the desktop and select applications. So in a normal mode, you see this little white cursor. If you hover over something that's what's called a link, like in the internet, your pointer or your cursor may change to a little hand. So it depends what this cursor looks like. It depends on what you're doing. But in a normal mode, it's white. Okay, and
Okay.
it will flash in an empty space on your desktop to tell you that you can use the keyboard to type. You'll see that working when we get there. Do you have
Okay.
okay. So the term point means just laying your hand on the mouse and pointing. Clicking is just by clicking either the left button or the right button. You can actually
Okay.
double click with a mouse. So it depends on the program that you're using if you're going to use double clicking or not. You can click and drag things when I'll show you in some of the demonstrations how to do that. And then you can
Okay.
hover over different parts of a program and that program may display information to you. Okay.
Okay.
So that's basic computer components, Laverne. So any questions you have there?
No, not really. I do appreciate this, this information you're giving me, though, because it's basically a lot that this computer does and what its jobs are.
Okay, good. All right. If you think of anything while we're going along, just let me know, okay?
Could you repeat that, please?
I said if you think of any questions as we're moving along, let me know.
Okay, I will. I will do that. I do have a question in one way. I have a really, I didn't realize, like I'm constantly holding my phone to my ear, and I have a hearing problem, a loss of hearing. I've got hearing aids in my ears, but it's an autoimmune disease, and it's only getting worse. My thoughts are at this moment that seeing here, I'm holding this, phone to my ear almost with one hand or the other. I'm going to have to go out and get a headset. Do you think that would be the best thing for me to purchase, like between now and tomorrow for the next class? Something that I could wear on my head, or I could hear better and not be holding my phone like I am. What are your thoughts? I need advice.
I think that if you're able to do that, it's a good idea for a couple reasons, Laverne. First of all, it's a long time to hold that phone up to your ear for an hour and a half.
You can say that again, and my arms are getting tired. Then when I put it down, because of my hearing, I don't hear too good, but I'm always listening to it now because I want to hear you. And so basically, is there a special title? I've not ever shopped for a headset or anything. So what are your thoughts where to shop for one, and what is the correct title of it?
So the headset's going to depend on your phone. So I think that what I would do, where are you thinking of going to purchase the headset?
I have no idea. I'll take whatever thoughts you got. Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you in Loveland or Fort Collins?
Fort Collins.
You're in Fort Collins. So, they're all, the cost is going to depend on where you go. So, for example, like, if you're not sure of what to buy and you need help with that, going to like Best Buy, they're good at finding the device that works with your phone.
Okay.
You can also tell them that you wear hearing aids so that when you buy the headset, it works good with your hearing aids. Because I wear hearing aids as well. And I've noticed that there's some devices that work okay with them, and there's some that don't. So if you go to Best Buy, they can give you more direction there. But you can also go to like Walmart, but then they wouldn't be able to answer the specific questions that you had, They maybe they
right. Best Buy was
yeah.
Best Buy is really informative for when you want to get something like that. So okay, so Best Buy. Oh gosh, I don't know. I take Dollaride too, which is I can't make reservations today for it, but then like tomorrow, my class will be say 11:30. I wouldn't have it because Best Buy don't open until 9 or 10, and time wise. But I can certainly get my headset between now and another time because I know time wise I want to get my class tomorrow. So I'll make sure I get to Best Buy this weekend.
Oh, okay. So that's not a problem. Laverne, are you able to use the speakerphone on your phone, or is it too hard to hear?
I do have the speakerphone on, to be honest about it, so I could hear. It's really, I've just got a new hearing aid, and it's a gradual hearing loss, and it's going to eventually no hearing at all. But I just but the idea is I do have it on speaker, and I'm holding it up to my ear even, and it's just my hearing dilemma.
Am I speaking loud enough for you?
Oh, perfectly well, yes.
Okay.
It's just coming in absolutely perfect on the phone. Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Okay. If you do have problems, let me know, okay?
I'm sorry?
I said if you have trouble hearing me, let me know.
Okay. Once in a while, maybe. We'll just see. Otherwise, you're doing awesome, and I'm hearing you correctly.
Okay, good. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and continue then? So the next thing the next thing we're going to talk about, Laverne, is what's called keyboard shortcuts. So almost everything that you do on your computer you can do with a mouse, but you can also use your keyboard to do some of the similar things. And this slide is hard to see because there's so much information here. In that reference pack that I talked about, it will have this information in it, okay? So,
Cool.
yeah. So like I said, um, you can use the keyboard rather than the mouse if you prefer. So I always tell people in class, it's how you want to work. What is your style?
Right.
What you prefer to do? Okay. So
Okay.
I don't go through all of these things just because there's so many here, and you would never be able to memorize these. The only way that you'll memorize them is to use them. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I
Exactly.
would suggest doing is you can is when you get your reference packet, take a look at the keyboard shortcuts and try some of them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So again,
Okay.
I'm not going to go through all of these here.
Right. I understand. There are so many of them. Yes.
There are, yes. And I'm not a
When I go to
keyboard
the reference,
person.
when I go to the reference packet, I'll be able to get acquainted with it, a refresher in my memory, and try them.
Yes, that's what I suggest.
Okay.
And see what you get
Sure.
through with. Yeah. Okay. And I think
Okay.
there's even more. So this is the next page of the keyboard shortcuts.
Wow. Yeah, there is a lot.
There's a lot. So, but when it tells you to, let's look at this third one. It says to close a document. It says press down your control key and the F4 key at the same time. So all of these
Yeah.
commands, you'll hold down either the control key or the alt key, and then you'll push the key that is indicated. So for example, the F4.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
hold it down and then push the second one. So give yourself
Okay.
give yourself some time to practice with that and see how you feel about it. Okay.
I will. Okay.
All right. So now I don't know if I want to use this slide. Let's look at the slide and then I'm going to actually show you the taskbar on the computer. So you've probably noticed this before, but the taskbar is a long horizontal bar that's at the bottom of your monitor screen. Okay. And
Uh-huh.
it can move around depending on how you have it set. But it's almost always visible to you. And there's three main sections to the taskbar. Those are the start button, something called Cortana, which is a personal assistant if you have Windows 10. The middle
Uh-huh.
section shows you the programs and files that you currently have open on your computer. And then there is a notification area that includes a clock and some small icons. Okay. So what I'm going to do,
Okay.
I'm going to I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go show you the taskbar.
Okay.
Okay. So this is my computer here. Do you see this? It says a digital workshop center in the background.
Let's see here. So yeah, of course, I see the digital workshop. Very large. Yeah.
Okay. So this is my my background, like we talked about in the slides. So this is my
Uh-huh.
desktop. This is my desktop, Laverne. So you'll see
Okay.
here, I've got some files that I have loaded on my desktop. This is for my ease of use. Again, yours will look differently, but this is our desktop. I'm going to move my mouse down to the bottom, and you'll see
Okay.
like it's a gray horizontal toolbar along the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to move my mouse off of it, and it's going to disappear. See how it goes away?
Yeah.
And when I move it, it comes back.
Oh,
This is the taskbar, okay? So
okay.
on the taskbar, there's some components to the taskbar. So the first one is over here on the right-hand corner. This is your start button.
Okay.
Next to it, you'll have a little magnifying glass where you can perform searches if you're looking for something on your computer.
Okay.
Next to that is this circle. This is Cortana, and Cortana you can talk to Cortana and ask her to find things for you. Okay.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
It is. I think we'll talk more about that in the next class. Next to that
Okay.
is a little file folder. It's yellow. This is what's called your File Explorer. This is where you find those files that are on your computer, like you find files in your desk drawer. Okay. And then we talked about any programs that you have open are going to be on the taskbar. So right now, this icon is for Google Chrome. And you see how
Okay.
over it, the little
Yeah.
Google Chrome comes up? Okay. This is
Yeah.
Microsoft Edge, which is another internet browser. This is another Google Chrome that I have open.
Okay.
This is my Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is what I'm using for my slides that I'm showing you.
Okay.
And then this is Zoom. So this is the Zoom that I have open. Okay. So these are the programs.
Okay.
And then if we go way over to the left-hand side, we talked about the notification area. So there are icons over here. So for example, this is an indication that I'm using my microphone in Zoom. I'm using a laptop, Laverne, so I have a little icon of a battery. You would not have that if you don't have a laptop.
Okay.
This is my internet connection. This is my speaker. And you can see the date and the time over here. And then this area here are notifications that I don't have any currently, but like if the operating system, Windows, wants to do an update, it will tell me that in the notifications area. Okay.
Okay.
There's also then this little arrow that's pointing up. What this indicates is that there's more icons that are hidden. So if I click on that, I get more icons showing. So for example, this is my Windows security. Okay, so these are just other programs in my computer that I'm using. Okay. There's my Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. Skype. So you will have something similar to this. Again, your taskbar is going to probably look different than mine. So if you're able, you want to make any note here about looking for the search and looking for Cortana on your task when you have a chance, and looking at your file folder. These are kind of the important things over on this side. Okay.
Okay.
So do you have questions about the taskbar?
Not really, but I got a question about Microsoft Edge. I haven't, they kind of offered it to me on it came up about a month ago, but I haven't clicked onto it. But I just was kind of unfamiliar. What is it Microsoft Edge good for, and what would it do?
Yeah, Microsoft Edge is an internet browser. So I don't think I have it installed, but I'll click on it. I used Google Chrome for my internet.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
So basically, if I've got Google Chrome, I really would not need Microsoft Edge.
That's correct. You do not have.
Oh, okay.
That's correct. So Microsoft Edge is Microsoft's version of an internet browser.
Oh, okay.
And I have it open here. So here, it says I can search the web. So this is what Microsoft's internet browser looks like. And that's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll close that. Yes. So So that's what that is. And then of course, you know, Google Chrome. This is what Google Chrome looks like, right?
Uh-huh.
This is what you use.
Well, a little different picture, of course, but yeah, different, just the
Yes.
basic one.
Yeah, yours will look
Mhm.
different. A little, the colors might be different, but this is Google.
Yeah, I do have Google Chrome. I use that only. I've been the only one I've been
Okay.
using.
Some people, Laverne, are more comfortable with Microsoft Edge than they are with Google Chrome. So it's a personal choice of what you want to.
Well, I really didn't know, and I just thought I've got enough going on in my computer. I better not click on it right now, so I didn't.
Right. Okay, good question though. So I'm going to go back to
Thank
the
you.
slide. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the slide here.
Okay.
So this is some more descriptions about this taskbar. So I showed it to you. So then let's, let me get back to this, to the slide. I lost my place.
No problem.
Here we go. Oh, it started. Okay, hold on. I don't want to do that. I lost my place. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right slide. Okay.
I understand.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I showed you the taskbar, and I showed you what's included in the taskbar. And so the important components on the taskbar, first of all, is that start button that was in the right-hand corner. That
Mm-hmm.
called the start menu, and we're going to look at that, Laverne. And then the start menu is kind of like a central launching point for all the computer programs that you have on your computer. And its purpose is to provide an easy way to get to those programs on your computer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. On the start menu, you'll find your most used programs and your applications on the left, and we'll take a look at that. And then
All right.
to use the start menu, you just click on the icon and bring it up. And then this slide quickly talks about Cortana. So this is that personal assistant that you have that you can talk to. You can ask her all kinds of things of her. She's really cool. You can ask her to set up a meeting or send an email to your friend. You can ask her to find files for you. You can ask her to tell you a joke. Okay.
Amazing.
We'll do a demonstration. Okay. So
Okay.
it's a pretty cool thing. Not everybody's aware of the Cortana, and by default, it's not always loaded on your taskbar. So that's why I want you to check on that between class here.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go back to the taskbar. We're going to look at the start menu of the Cortana. So remember, down here on this corner is the four little boxes. This is our start menu. I'm going to click on it with my mouse. And this is what we're talking about here. This is where you have access to all of the programs that are on your computer. So this list here, and I can scroll with my scroll button on my mouse. I'm scrolling. These are all of the computer programs that I have on my computer. Okay? All right. So if you know that you want to use one of these programs, you can come to Start, and you can open it here. Okay, so they're all in this.
Okay.
Okay, what's nice about Windows 10 then is over here on this right hand side, you can add things to this kind of like a quick start menu. Okay, so what I have done on this computer is I use my Microsoft Excel and Word Outlook, PowerPoint all the time. So rather than having to
Uh-huh.
do the list, I just have made a shortcut over here. Okay, so to do that, let's go find the calculator. Here's our calculator. If I want to move the
Okay.
calculator over here, I'm going to use my mouse, but I'm going to use the right click button. So when you use the right click button on your mouse, Laverne, it's always going to bring up a little box like you see here. Gives you
Okay.
commands that you can do. Okay. So when I right click on here, it says that I can pin it to start. What that means is I'm going to move it over to that area on the right. Okay, so I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And now, do you see how it moved it over here to my calculator?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going
Cool.
to get out of this, and then we're going to go back to it. I'm going to click on Start again. Now my calculator is right here to you. So rather than having to go through the list and find it, I've got it right here for me. So this is the good
Great.
idea. If there's programs that you use all the time, you can move them so that they are here for easy access. Okay?
Very, very good. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So again, everybody's different. So this is going to look different for you than it does for me. It just depends on what you do with your computer.
Okay.
So then also, Laverne, in our start, this is where you have this little, looks like a timer down here on the bottom.
Yes.
And it says power. If I click on that, I'm not going to do it. But this is where I shut down my computer. Or
Okay.
Mhm. So if you want to turn the computer off, you're not, you're not going to use it anymore today, then you would do it what's called
Mhm.
shut down. And so when you do that, the computer closes everything properly and then shuts down the computer. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's where you do that from here. I'm going to click on start again to get rid of that. Okay. And then the other thing we're going to look at here in the start menu, Laverne, is we talked about the control panel, which is actually in Windows 10 is called your settings. So I'm going to click on the settings.
Uh-huh.
And these are all my Windows settings. So remember how I said that Windows is the operating system, and you can personalize it for you on your computer so that your computer looks like you want it to. Okay. So this
Okay.
is where you can look at the system, which includes the operating system that you're using, information about how big your hard drive is, and we're going to look at that so that you know how so you can do that too. If you're going to add a printer, you would do that in the settings, in the devices. You can actually link your phone to your computer. We don't talk about this in class, but that's something that you can do. If you had questions
Uh-huh.
and it's something you wanted to do, you could ask for Thomas. This is where you set up all your networking for the internet. You can personalize your computer background. So for example, on my computer, I've got the Digital Workshop Center picture. I can change that to something different if I want to.
Okay.
Computer programs in Windows 10 are also called apps. So I think that Windows did that so that it's familiar to people who use their phone a lot. So when you see the word apps, it's the same
Uh-huh.
on your phone. Okay. You can set up
Mhm.
different time zones on your computer. You can add other accounts to your computer. Again, we're not going to go into all of these things, but these are some things that you can do on your computer. And then here is where you can search. Remember the magnifying glass we saw at the taskbar is also
Yes.
available here in the settings as well as Cortana. Okay. In computers, Laverne, there's always going to be more than one way to do the same thing. So what it comes down to is, how do you like to do it? So which way do you want?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to look at the system, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go all the way down here to where it says About. And I'm going to click on this.
Okay.
This is where you can learn about your computer. So remember, this is under the Start, Settings, About. I'm going to scroll down here. So here's my device specifications. Then this is the name of my computer. It's just called
Uh-huh.
I can change this if I want to. Remember how we talked about the processor? It's also called your
Yeah.
CPU. It tells me what kind of processor I have. So this just says AMD processor. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's that random access memory, like top of your desktop, where programs load where you work. There's some information
Uh-huh.
about device ID, product ID. You can't change these things. What your system type is the 64-bit operating system for Windows. Okay. I can rename the PC, so I could call it my name if I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Then next it talks about our Windows specifications. So it shows here that I have Windows 10 Home. So this is where you can go look
Uh-huh.
at what version of Windows you're using. Okay.
Okay.
When it was installed, and actually this date would also be for any updates that has happened to it. Okay, so this is good to know. Okay. And there are some related settings, but you're not going to look at those. So some things to look at here are what version of Windows you're using, what type of processor
Mm-hmm.
you have, and how much RAM you have. Okay. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to come down here to storage. So remember, we talked about storage, Laverne, is the hard drive on the computer.
Yes.
It's like your file cabinet. So this tells me how big my storage is. This is kind of a nice thing to know too, because it tells you how much you have used and how much you have available. So for this computer, I have 186 gigabytes of storage. I've used 119, and I have 66.5 left.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It tells me I have temporary files. So a temporary files can be loaded on your computer for multiple different reasons. They're just that temporary. If you are running out of storage space, you can remove temporary files normally without upsetting. On the apps and features, so these are all of the programs and applications that are loaded on my hard drive. They do take up space. So you can see from here I'm using 19 gigabytes of space for my application. And then others. Okay, so this is
Uh-huh.
a nice thing to know about your computer. And so there is something in Windows 10 called Storage Sense that you can turn on, which will free up space for you if it's getting too full. Okay.
Okay.
I don't have that turned on. I don't know if you want to or not. That's up to you. But this would be a place you come into. Okay. So again,
Okay.
I found this in the settings under storage. Okay. I wasn't going to go into all of these things. So what I would suggest doing, can't harm anything, Laverne, is just come in here,
Uh-huh.
take a look around and see what you see. So what we looked at though was the about to find out the processor in our Windows, and then we looked at the storage. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to press the back key and that takes me back to the settings. Okay. To get out of settings, all I have to do is press on the close button. Okay, so that's
Okay.
so just a reminder to get there. We go to the start button and click on it one time, and it's this little gear icon called settings. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm going to click on that, and then that takes us to where we were. Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you one fun thing. We'll go to personalization here. So this background, this is my desktop background. So right now I'm using this Digital Workshop Center picture. If I
Yes.
wanted to change that, though, I could. So I could choose a picture from here.
How cool.
You see how that changed? So you'll see some pictures available to use for you. I'm going to go back. You can also,
Uh-huh.
you can also browse the internet, Laverne, and look for pictures too.
Uh-huh.
There's different colors that you can choose. So this is the way to personalize your computer for what you want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So any questions about the settings?
Not yet. I think it's very informative.
Okay. Good. So let's look at Cortana. So I'm going to bring her up. So when you have a chance, Laverne, take a look at your computer. See if you have the little circle Cortana installed on your taskbar. Okay.
Okay. I will do that. I wouldn't be surprised. I think I might have it on my computer, but I will double check later on.
Yeah, when you have a chance. If you don't see
Yes.
it here, you can go to start, remember, and you can find her. Maybe I'll find her. Oh, we have to go to the settings. That's where we saw the Cortana. Yeah, there she is. Here's Cortana here too. So that's it. If you don't have her in the taskbar, go to start and settings.
Okay.
She's in here. Okay.
Okay. That's very, I don't think there's many people that are familiar with that Cortana thing.
Yeah. So let's bring her up. We're going to talk
All
to
right.
Cortana.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear anything.
So I didn't ask her anything. She said she didn't hear anything. Were you able to hear that?
I did hear that from her. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we can, tap here to make sure that she can hear us. So let's do that.
Okay.
And she's checking our speech to see if there's any problems. There won't be. I think she didn't hear me because I didn't say anything, but she's checking for us. So we'll let her do that.
Amazing.
Okay. Oh, tell us more. I wonder if she can't hear me. Let's try it again. Cortana, start Google Chrome. Okay, so she's not hearing me, Laverne.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear anything.
She's not hearing me. It could, it could be. Let's try this. Talk to Cortana.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, so I'm thinking, Laverne, it's possible that she's not hearing me because I'm using the microphone in Zoom.
That could be. Uh-huh.
So the way to use Cortana is to say her name, say Cortana, and then give her a command.
Okay.
So for a piece of homework for you, try that. Say Cortana
Okay.
and ask her something like, I don't know, play music or open my web browser or something like that. And see if
Okay.
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 I'm pretty sure she's not working because I'm using my microphone in Zoom.
That might be a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. I've run into that before. I forgot.
Okay.
If you don't want to use Cortana voice, you can also search with the little magnifying glass. So if I bring that up here, this group comes here, and I can search for something on my computer. So I could say, um, look, I don't know, look for jobs. Here we go.
Okay.
Enter. So then what she's doing, what the computer has done, Laverne, is it brought up my Microsoft Edge, and it went right to a job search. Okay, so that's
Amazing.
yeah, that's how you can look for things, either on the computer or even out on the internet.
Okay.
Okay, close this. Any questions about the search or the Cortana?
No, not really. I just think it's absolutely amazing. I'll be anxious to try it later on.
Right, and then of course the start button.
hmm
All right, so if you would like to, we can take a couple minute break. Would you like to do that or not?
Oh, sure, if you're up to it.
It's up to you.
Whatever you're up to.
We're doing
I'm okay, but
work here, so I just want to make sure you're okay.
oh, so far I think I'm doing okay. I'm hoping my brain will be able to remember all this, but I'm writing things down as you're, that I want to try later. So, and the way to go. So, I just hang in there, and I'm okay
All right.
if you're okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So again, yes, we've done a lot. So we've talked about computer components, taskbar, start, settings, searching, Cortana. So the next part of the class then, Laverne is talking about using files and folders on your computer.
Okay.
Okay. So remember I used the analogy that files and folders are similar to what you would have in your file cabinet on your desk. And what's cool about Windows is it actually kind of shows them as a folder and a file. So we're looking right now at my desktop. And on my desktop, I do have some folders, which are these little icons here that look like a folder. Do you see that?
Yeah. Yes.
So it's pretty cool because it actually looks like a file folder, right? If I double click on this to open it, it brings up for me in my file explorer. Okay. So that's
Okay.
this is what we're looking at, the file explorer. So this will look similar on your computer. So I want to show you, I'm going to make this bigger. So on the left-hand side of the File Explorer is a list of what is on your hard drive. Okay, so all of these things are stored on your hard drive. You're going to have what's called a quick access. So you'll notice in computers will give you a lot of options for accessing things quickly, like we did in the start menu with the programs when we moved the calculator over. And again, what is in your quick access are things that you have recently done. Okay. Under the quick access is going to be your desktop. So that's where you see that digital workshop center icon. And then here's that folder that I opened on my desktop.
Okay.
I'm going to click on this, but you're going to see a change. So I've clicked on the desktop. What I now see on the right-hand side, these are all the things that I have on my desktop. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This downloads folder, Laverne, this is used as a place where things are moved when you're using the internet. So a lot of, if you're downloading items from the internet, they'll typically normally go automatically into the downloads folder. So if you're ever looking.
Okay.
Then you've got a documents folder.
Uh-huh.
We'll talk more about that. Pictures. Okay. Here's a getting started with Windows. Okay. But this is actually something of mine that I've recently used. This is the folder I've recently used performing calculations. I just taught these classes, so that's why they're in my quick access. You won't have this, but this is what I've been doing. Microsoft OneDrive is what's called a cloud storage. That's why you see that little picture of cloud next to it. So what cloud storage is you can put things here, and the items are actually stored off of your hard drive. They're not on your hard drive. They're out in what we call the cloud. And what the cloud is other computers somewhere else in the world. We don't know where they are, and that's where our documents are stored. If we choose to do that. The benefit.
Is there a charge? Is there a charge like for that cloud storage?
Right.
Do we have to pay charges for that? I mean, money?
So there is no charge for, I think you get 5 gigabytes of storage with Microsoft for OneDrive.
Okay.
You can buy more if you want to. The advantage of using the OneDrive is a couple. First of all, it's a way to store your files away from your computer in case something happens to your computer. If it crashes or it gets stolen or what have you, you can always retrieve those files back from the cloud to your hard drive.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. The other advantage is that you can go to the cloud from any computer. So Laverne, let's say that you go to use a computer at the library.
Right.
You can log into your OneDrive and you can get to your files. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a fun thing to have. So I use the OneDrive for my work files here, so that if I have to use another computer, I can get to them from another computer. And I did have a computer crash on me recently, so some of my files were on my OneDrive, some weren't. That was my fault that I didn't put them all there, but I was able to get them back. Okay. So that's what this is. And then this PC. So this PC is my hard drive. Same thing as the hard drive. If you look over here on the right, when I click on it, Laverne, it shows me my device live. So there's multiple words for your hard drive. It's also called C:. That's an old terminology. Okay, that's the primary hard drive. And then it says OS for operating system. All of those things are your hard drive. You'll notice here that I can see how much storage space I have used on my hard drive, just like we did in the study. Okay.
Okay.
On this PC, we're going to always have a folder called 3D Objects. Here's the desktop again, the documents, downloads, music, pictures, and videos. You're always going to have are automatically built into Microsoft, the Windows operating system. So these are folders that you're always going to have on your computer. You can add more.
Okay.
Okay, you can add more, but these are here by default. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't want to, folders and files gets a little more complicated, so I don't want you to be confused here. Are you okay so far? Do you have any questions?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. So I just kind of gave you a review of what we have right here on the left-hand side. So
Right.
I'm going to go to this PC, and I'm going to go and I'm going to open up my documents.
Okay.
Okay. So in this documents folder, now I have some information that's displayed on the right. In this documents folder, Laverne, I have what's called subfolders. So you can have as many subfolders as you want. You can keep going and going. It's all used to organize your information, however you want to do that. So
Uh-huh.
real clear on the name of a folder that you put certain documents into. Okay. So in this situation,
Okay.
what I have in my documents folder is I have something called Adobe. I have something called
Right.
Blueprint. These are Office templates. Here's my different downloads. Here's where Zoom is. Zoom puts this
Uh-huh.
when you download it. And then I have actually put some files. These are files. These are folders.
Okay.
These are files. Okay. That's what I have in my document.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there just by clicking. So for example, if I click on the desktop, now I'm showing everything that's on my desktop. So I've got 3 folders,
Okay.
and I have all these things down here. These are all files, okay? And the reason
Right.
that I have them on my desktop is they're fast. I can get to them real fast. And I use these all the time when I teach. So that's just the
Sure.
way I have it set up. You don't have to.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I want to show you then over here on the left, you'll notice that there's a little arrow pointing towards the desktop. I'm going to click on
Yes.
it. I'm going to click on it. And when I do that, Laverne, it shows me the folders that are on the desktop over here in this view. And then
Cool. Uh-huh.
what I can do from here is I can click on the folder, and then it shows me what's in that folder over here on the right. And as you can see, I have
Okay.
another folder. I'm going to click on the little arrow next to it again, and it shows me that I have this other folder, and I'm going to click on that. And then within this folder, I even have more folders. So I'm going to come over back to the left and click on the arrow to expand it, and it shows me all my folders over here, just like they are on the right-hand side. And then I'm going to click inside
Mm-hmm.
these, and then these are the files that are inside of this folder. So in this example,
Amazing.
I have multiple folders inside of folders before I get to the actual files. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna come back up to this one. So what I've done here, this is my these are some files I use for a class that I teach for Microsoft Excel. Okay. And in Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Excel, we learn how to do different things, obviously. So we learn how to format a worksheet. We learn how to perform calculations. So the way that I've organized these folders allows me a real easy way to go find what I'm looking for by specifically naming them for the tasks that I'm doing. Does that make sense? So when
Mm-hmm.
you are organizing your hard drive, you have an option of calling these folders whatever you want them to be. Okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
just make them as specific as possible so that when you're looking for something, it's easy. Okay. Do you have any questions yet?
No, not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to close this. I don't want to see all that. So on the left-hand side now, I've clicked on the little arrows, and I don't see my files over here anymore. I mean, my folders. I'm sorry. I still see them,
Right.
but I'm not looking at them.
Right.
So let's then create a folder. There's multiple ways we can do this, and I'm going to show them. So this is my File Explorer. I'm going to close this so we kind of start from the beginning. So I'm just going to come up here to the right-hand side. I'm going to click on the X to close the File Explorer.
Okay.
So the fast way to get to the File Explorer is to go to your taskbar, and there's the little file folder here. I'm going to click on that. And here we are again. Okay. You're going to
Okay.
see it looks a little bit different right now because it's actually highlighted on my quick access toolbar. So um,
Okay.
it isn't always going to look the same. It depends on what you're doing. But
Right.
when you open the File Explorer, one thing to look for is this box up here. This will tell you where you are located. So I'm going to show you how that
Mm-hmm.
changes.
Okay.
So I clicked on the desktop. Now it shows me I'm in my PC on my desktop. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then my desktop, I've got these folders. If I go to, I don't want to use quick access. Here's my documents down here. If I click on that, notice how it's changed. It tells me in this bar, the status bar,
Yeah.
where I'm at. So that's another way to know where what you have open. Okay. So let's say I want to add a new folder to my documents folder. Okay.
Okay.
Ways that I can do this. Up here, this ribbon. You see
Yes.
icon that says new folder. So I can just
Okay.
I can click on it. You'll notice how a little folder popped up here on the right that says new folder, and the
Yeah.
was blinking in it. It's not now. So at this point, I can just start typing. Okay. So we're going to call this Laverne. Okay. So I'm going to name my folder. I'm going to press enter.
Okay.
Okay. So then there's my new folder. Okay. So that's
Cool.
it's as easy as that.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm going to, so that's one method. I can also in my documents, let's say I want to add another folder, but then another way that you can do it, Laverne, is you can right click on the folder where you want to create a new one. And we go to new and folder. Okay. So on the right
Okay.
hand side, it says new folder. If I look down here on the left though, I see that same thing that I saw before where it says new folder with the cursor blinking. So now
Yeah.
I can type the name again. We'll call this one Laverne
Okay.
2. Okay. Press enter.
Okay.
So there's my Laverne 2. So that's those are the
Mhm.
two ways that you can do that. Okay. And then finally, I'm gonna actually close this. On my desktop, if I want to, I don't have to use File Explorer if I want to put a folder here. I can right click here
Uh-huh.
and I can say new and I can say folder. And I've got the same thing that you saw before with the blinking cursor. It says new folder. And we'll just call this
Yes.
Laverne 3. Press enter.
Okay.
So then I have created a folder on my desktop. So I'm going to bring up my File Explorer. And we're going to go look at the desktop by going down here on,
Okay.
desktop. And there's my Laverne 3. Okay.
Amazing.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's how you work with folders. So a couple things to visually be aware of when you're doing this. First of all, to know where you are located when you're working in your hard drive, there's a couple things to look for. Look at the status bar, will tell you where you are. You can also look down the left-hand side and see how the desktop is in blue. That's how I know
Yes.
I'm located right now. So that's a visual indicator as well as the taskbar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this point, then I want to move some files into my folder. And I'm going to do it from the Explorer, and then I'll also show you how to do it on the desktop. Okay. So
Okie doke.
desktop folder in the File Explorer, there's Laverne, and here's my files that I can work with. So this reference packet, is this the one? Let's move this to the Laverne folder. There's a couple ways I can do it. I'm going to click on it. So now you see how it's light blue?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to hold down my left mouse key and I'm going to drag it. I'm just holding it and I'm moving my mouse up and it says move to Laverne 3. So what I've done is this is called the click and drag, like I mentioned at the beginning. And I let go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's not here anymore. Now it is in, I'm going to double click on your folder. It's in the Laverne 3 folder. Okay. So that's one way
Okay.
that you files. That makes sense?
Yes.
Let's say, so that actually moves that file into the Laverne folder. Not on my desktop anymore, it's in the Laverne 3 folder. Okay.
Okay.
I can also right click, and there's a couple things I can do from here. I can copy it. I can say copy.
Mm-hmm.
I can right click on Laverne 3 and I can paste. Okay, so let's go look at Laverne 3. That's the folder that I just moved into the Laverne 3 folder. So that was copy and paste, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put it back. So I'm going to right click on it again. And this time I'm going to cut it. Okay. I need to go back to my desktop. So there's a couple ways I can do that. I can click on desktop here. I can use my little arrow to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. So then it's going to give me some information here. So when I did the copy and paste Laverne, I copied it. So what that means is I have a copy of that file on my desktop and in my Laverne 3. Okay.
Okay.
I'm moving it now, so now I'm cutting it from Laverne 3 to put it back to desktop, but it's already there. And my computer knows this. So this is an example of a box popping up to say, this is what you're doing. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay. Remember how how I said you're going to get the computer's going to talk to you. So this is an example of that. Okay. So
Okay.
it's already here. Do you want to do this or not? So I'm going to say, no, I don't think I will. I didn't know that it was still there, so I'll just skip it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back to Laverne 3, and I still have it here because if I want to delete it from the folder, I can right click on it again, and I can delete. And now it's gone from Laverne 3. I'm going to go back. I still have it here, though, because I had only copied it to Laverne 3. I didn't actually cut it. Okay.
I see.
Whenever you delete a file from your computer, Laverne, I'm going to,
Yeah.
it goes into the recycle bin. Always. So it's never gone
Okay.
until you make it gone. So I'm going to double click.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to double click on the recycle bin to show it to you. So this is the recycle bin, and here's two things that I have in here. But here's the one that I just deleted. So it's actually still on my hard drive. It's not completely gone until I empty the recycle bin.
Really? Okay.
So it's kind of like a safety feature. And computers computers have those. So you always kind of have a safety feature built in. So nothing's really gone until it's gone. So
Uh-huh.
at this point, and this is taking up hard drive space too, right? So if this is
Yeah.
getting very large, you're deleting things and you're running out of storage room, come in here and look at your recycle bin and empty it. So if I say empty it, it's going to now permanently move these off of my computer. They will not be here. Okay. Um,
Okay.
I can also restore them back to my computer. So if I want to put this intro, or let's say this budget one back, I can click on it and I can say restore it. Okay, now it's back on my computer. It's not in the recycle bin. If I empty the
Okay.
recycle bin, then everything's gone. It's gone forever. Okay.
If I wanted to review the recycle bin before I emptied everything, uh, what would be the process say I want to empty I've never really emptied it. So if I like to look at what I've got in it, how do I look at it before I decide on emptying it?
How do you get to it, do you mean?
Yeah, how do I go to the recycle bin to see what I've got in there? Like I say, it's probably been years. And, how do I look over that information before I hit empty?
Well, this is it right here. So let's do it again.
Okay.
So here's the recycle bin, Laverne, is always going to be
Yeah.
on your desktop. This is our desktop. I'm going to double click on it. And
There's right click, double right click.
I double clicked.
Okay, double click, okay.
To look at it. So if you want to look to see in it, you'll have to double click on it. And then it shows
Okay.
you. Okay. And then
okay.
Okay. And then when I see what's in here, I can say, oh yes, I do want to empty it. And I just say empty the recycle bin. And what it does, it puts a little box and it says delete all the items to free up this space. So once you do this, they're gone. Okay.
Okay.
So you may have noticed another way that you can empty the recycle bin is you can right click on it and empty it from here.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't know what's in it, open it first and look at it.
Yeah. Right? Yes, I will. Uh-huh.
Open. Yeah.
Right.
So you can double click on the recycle bin to open it. I'm going to close this. Or I can right click and I can open it this way too.
Okay.
So remember I said that it all depends on how you like to work. And there's always more than one way to do the same thing. So it all comes down to what you're comfortable doing, okay?
Right.
I like to right click. I think it's fast. But not everybody wants to do it that way, so you don't have to.
Right. Right.
Okay, so then, so we've moved files using File Explorer by copying and pasting and by dragging and dropping. I can also do that on my desktop here. So this budget exercise, this is what's called a PDF file. I'll open it. I'll open it so you can see what it is. It's nothing related to this class. It's just a file. Okay. So I'm going to close it. I want to move it into my Laverne 3. There's a couple ways. Again, I can do that on my desktop. So this only applies if your folders are on your desktop. I can click it with my left mouse and I can just hold the mouse down and drag it over. Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Amazing. Uh-huh.
I can right click it and I can copy and paste here. Okay. And I can even send it to other places on my computer. Like I want to move it to my document folder. I can do that by clicking and sending it. So this is our budget. So I'm going to send it to the documents. Okay. And I'm going to open up the File Explorer so you can see it. come down here to my documents, and here is the budget. So now it's located
Amazing.
in this folder. I'm going to close this, and it's on my desktop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So multiple ways to move files around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Laverne, let's say that you have called this file folder Laverne 3 and you want to change it. I can right click
Right.
and I can rename.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to call it, I don't know, Elizabeth. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I can also do that with files. These are folders, but I can rename files too by right clicking.
Okay.
The rename. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just call it budget or something. Okay. And press enter. So now I've renamed that folder. So if you ever save a file as a certain name and it's not making sense any longer, something's changed, you can always have the option to come in and rename it.
Okay.
That's a lot to do with files and folders. I think the key, Laverne, is to practice. And I want you to
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, I want you to know when you're practicing, you can't harm anything because everything goes in the recycle bin. So you won't permanently delete anything unless you go into the recycle bin and do that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's very interesting to know that then. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do for some homework, if you want to, is
Yes.
create a folder on your desktop and move some files into it for practice. And then when we meet again, if you have questions about the homework that I've given to you, let me know. Okay?
Okay, could you repeat that? I've written it down. Create a folder. I mean, this was the practice. So what was the second thing you said?
Oh, and then copy a file into the folder.
Copy a file into the folder. Okay. And then what?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just to kind of get acquainted with things.
Just to get acquainted. Yeah, just practice while you
Yeah.
have me next tomorrow, right? We're meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you're
Uh-huh.
able, yeah, if you're able to do the homework, then I'll be here tomorrow and you can ask me questions. Okay.
That sounds like a plan. And that, and then like after like today and tomorrow's lesson, in case I have questions again, who do I contact to ask my question? You or how does that work? Or we give you information of what number to call or what, so on.
Let's go back to this slide here. No, this is the wrong one. One moment here. Good question. So actually, to ask questions for your technical support, you're going to use the internet, Google Chrome.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
the website where you ask questions is right here on the slide.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay. Great.
you should have this reference packet. So that's something else that you were going to look for, right?
Yes, I have that. I'll look.
Yeah. So you just type in, digitalworkshopcenter.com with a /technical/support, and that will get you to a page where you can ask questions. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to close this. I'm going to stop sharing. So we did a lot of stuff today. It's a jam-packed class. So a quick wrap up. What we reviewed was computer components, the taskbar, the start button, settings. We looked at the file explorer. We looked at files, folders. Do you have can you think of any other questions before we're done?
No, not yet. But when I start practicing, I know I'll run into a question or two to be ready to ask you tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Write them down. You can even go in tonight and send them to that tech support if you want, and I'll check it tonight. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're at our time. We're a few minutes over. So we don't have anything else today, Laverne. I just want to say that it's been a pleasure spending time with you today, and I look forward to tomorrow.